Tonight, I was going to talk about taxes, an issue that affects every Nigerian. But the events in Benin have caused me to pause and reflect. Once upon a time, West Africa was the poster child of Africa's democratic renewal. Soldiers retreated to the barracks, constitutions were written, ballot boxes replaced bullet shells. We called it the democratic wave. Today, that wave is ebbing, slowly at first, now visibly. Between 2020 and 2025, Africa has recorded roughly 14 coup attempts, with about 9 successful. Many of those in West Africa, the region once held up as the standard, but now tagged as the coup belt of Africa. Not because its people do not love democracy, but because many political leaders failed to govern accountably, to feed their people and protect them from jihadist terrorists. 3 of these countries, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, pulled out of ECOWAS and formed the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, a parallel structure. The 2-track West Africa emerged, one democratic but struggling, the other autocratic but confident. Each insists it speaks for the people, yet they have under-delivered. GDP growth rates in these countries are lower than it was before the coups. Cross-border trade is not even existent. Security has not improved as the guns didn't go silent. Terror still reigns unabated. And then came Benin. Nigeria, on invitation, acted swiftly, first diplomatically, then militarily, helped by note Babel, but driven also by self-interest. A coup next door is never just domestic news. It's a border risk, it's a refugee risk, it's a trade risk, it's a security risk. And so Nigeria pushed back, and for once, the world nodded in approval. But this is more than a foreign policy win. It's a test of credibility for ECOWAS, for the African Union, and for Nigeria itself. If we defend democracy abroad, can we strengthen it at home? If we shut the door on juntas next door, can we also shut the door on democratic erosion within? Let the courage we show outside our walls be matched by integrity within them. Let this reflection point translate into an inflection point in our polity.
If we defend democracy abroad, can we strengthen it at home?
It's an obvious
Let the courage outside our walls reflect, what was that you said?
Within it.
Home is where the heart is. We have failed, Africa, most parts of it, at working with democracy. Our leaders have failed
West Africa
to govern with accountability. It seems democracy is not working for us, but we're the quickest to hail it outside. So why not bring it home? Because we have these leaders going outside to see the gains of other citizens in other countries, in other climes, when democracy is truly applied. But we come back here and we say, no, it's only going to be word of mouth. Africa as a whole has failed its people, and that is why I believe there's so much coup. And even though Nigeria sort of protected itself and people hail them, they're like, this one is going to give people an idea that they too, they can stand up. Mm-hmm. And if it works for us, fine, but nobody wants war. I do not want war. But, like Elsie said previously, it is time for our leaders, I use that in quotes because you ain't leading nothing. Look inward. The time that you think you have is not there. The shade you should be building is for the younger ones or the citizens to sit inside and enjoy gains. There's just so much you can do with cars, houses, and all the jeeps. Come on, leave a legacy. Let your name be, more important than the material gains around you. Let your people, Africans, truly enjoy democracy.
For me, West Africa especially, ECOWAS, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. We cannot act like we do not know why these coups are happening. There was an African analyst, I was watching his interview on one of the New Central program, and he was talking about how these military men you talk about, they see the injustice in real time. When there has to be money moving in Ghana must goes at all and all. They are the ones moving these monies for these politicians. So if they see the actions and can feel the pain, and they are the ones that would also go home and they don't have enough to take care of their children, why won't coup be a plan that will come up in their minds? right? So it's happening everywhere now. Yes, we are acting as big brother Nigeria, whatever. But at the end of the day, we need to bring it home.
Yes.
And thank God this is an international station, like you said. We're speaking to every leader, West Africa especially. There is a lot that could have happened in West Africa. We talked about our train being able to, if I'm going from Nigeria to Benin, I don't know why I'm spending so much on transportation.
But
whether it's by
go
air
to South
or
Africa,
by
then
road,
you come to
right?
Benin.
There is a lot that needs to be discussed. And the question is always, when you go to your meetings as the heads of states or presidents, what do you discuss? What is the KPI? What is the goal? For me, for every meeting I get into, even when people, yes, we human beings, we have a tendency of going away from the conversation, but I always bring people back. When we are living here, what are we doing? And until they begin to think about the people that they govern, the people that they lead,
They are supposedly.
this is the beginning. You know, so it's not just a case of we don't want military, we don't want this, we don't. Don't you think it's a consequence of your actions and inactions? That's where I'm going to leave it, really.
Jinka left out you left out France's interference in the coups in Africa.
I didn't want to get it. So,
Now, that is a narrative that you can't gloss over. You see, the coups in Africa, they are dictated outside of Africa. Whether it is against the government or pro-government. I mean, Guinea, there was a coup in Guinea. It was the sitting president who wanted to doctor the election. He couldn't. And he staged a coup. He invited the military boys to take over.
Can you imagine?
Now,
allegedly.
Very well. I like that.
Come and prove it.
President Jonathan was on the spot. And he said it all, that this guy lost the election. But he didn't want to go. And he invited the military boys. How can you, who is being ousted, announce your coup? Announce a coup. You're not the one that should announce. But that's by the way.
Ridiculous.
In Benin Republic, the French Macron telling our president to intervene.
Is this proven though?
Of course.
Okay.
What is his interest?
What is it?
And what is our president protecting in Benin Republic? Is it democracy or the interest of France?
No, his relationship, if it's proven, then it's his
So
relationship
it
with
is not
Macron.
an altruistic intervention. It is not a
is never
not a
altruistic.
democratic intervention. Now, so my take is this, and I'll drop the anchor on this. The Western interference in Africa is overbearing. It is getting in the way of governance in Africa, and especially West Africa. And that's because there are just I think 2 countries in West Africa that are English-speaking.
Nigeria.
Nigeria, Ghana. Correct. The rest are Francophone countries. So
British
France actually run West Africa. That's the truth.
Yeah,
So my question is
losing
the
the grip.
blame?
Yes.
Is the blame
Why are
to
they
France?
losing the grip?
So is the blame to France or the people that allow France?
Very good question.
Now, there's enough
Very good
blame to
question.
go around. There's enough blame to go around.
God bless you.
Now, the first thing is this. Who enabled France's interference? It is colonialism. So they've been there and they remain there. They choose who leads the people.
Okay.
If you go against them, they assassinate you somehow.
Okay.
That is what has happened.
Well, I'm going to toe Kingsley's line a
I
bit.
saw you doing that.
Yeah.
Check, clock it.
Yes. Why? Because, first of all, one of the most popular monologues I did this year was the one that centered on my visit to Cotonou, to Benin Republic. And while I was in Benin Republic, I saw a lot of infrastructure
Development.
There was a lot of building going on, roads, buildings, and all of that. So, and my guide said to me that the president was popular.
Talon.
To my surprise, I woke up to the news of a coup.
Cool. Yeah. Okay.
And this is where I align with Kingsley that
Outside influence.
so I sent a text to my friend like, your country, what's going on? I would tie that with what I read on a WhatsApp group earlier this morning about the interference of the West in the affairs of Africa and how China has been able to extricate itself to learn from many years of dealing with the West to begin to dictate the pace to the West.
They are doing
And that is what Africa and her leaders need to do. The interference of France is overbearing. France is overbearing. They didn't even do indirect rule like the British. They did direct rule. So they've sort of, the colonialism is, the shade of colonialism is crazy.
It's by assimilation.
France is like our politicians now. They don't
You know,
want to go anywhere.
so the onus is on African leaders.
Thank you.
West African leaders. I'm neither here nor there with Nigeria's interference or intervention in the coup in Benin. But this is a sign to all those governing West Africa that you can't sleep right now. You have to be awake to see how you can stand your ground, assert yourself, and push back France.
It is said that those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. I say that those in glass houses should ensure they build good defenses both within and without. Over to you, Funke.